So I want to apologize to Killmonger for saying that he went too hard in Black Panther. Personally, I think he didn't go hard enough because for the past 2 weeks I've been inching closer and closer to the end of Loot, a book by Barnaby Phillips. It's non-fiction. It dives into the story of the treasures taken from the Great Benin Kingdom after the punitive expedition of 1897. So it starts from the nature of the trade between the tribes on the coastal West Africa and the Europeans, how these Europeans made their way up the Niger, breathing death and fever for that sweet resource that is palm oil. According to the book, the trade between the people of the Benin and the Portuguese went very well as the Dutch. When the English came, it did not go well. And I think that's a recurring pattern in colonial history. I wonder why. So an Englishman Galway makes his way to the Oba and gets him to sign a treaty. Now the Oba doesn't know what is in the treaty. Just the way you don't know what's in terms and conditions. And before you know now, they'll come and say they want your soul. So when Benin, a sovereign nation, now decides not to bend to the trade terms of the English, that is when James Phillips rushes an expedition to bring the Oba to order. And of course, James Phillips' party is killed, and the response from the British now becomes a punitive expedition. They put a band together to come and unify the British Empire. It wasn't just what they did, it was that they convinced everyone that they were going down to West Africa to wipe out the most barbaric kingdom that ever existed on earth. They painted Benin as a place where human sacrifice was the order of the day and the streets were running with blood. It was a brutal attack on the reputation of what was one of the greatest kingdoms in West Africa. And they believed that their war was going to civilize the region. They came and they crushed the Benin army because they had superior firepower. And you know the first thing they did after crushing the army? They looted. They took most of the treasures, in fact, almost everything from the Benin Empire and shipped it to England. And that is where the book gets its name, Loot. I'm like 60% in. I'm currently at the place where Barnaby Phillips is tracking where Benin Bronzes appeared, all the drama that it brought forth in the archaeological communities, in the art communities, museums, and private collectors were just scheming to get several Benin Bronzes, and how those bronzes increased in prices when their real intrinsic value was discovered. So it's a marvel, it's a wonderful book, it's a rich piece of history that I wish they had taught me in school. You can find Loot in Roving Heights, and if you are going to read it, let me know because this is good research. Personally, that is what I am reading this week. Bye.